Welcome to the King's Court. Lord Soggy's back in the building. We're heavily on rotation, but our friend Mardy, he's the regular king. He's here again.
The constant.
the constant in all of this. So, you know, when it's not a new room you're in, it's the same room. APL couldn't make it today, but I am back.
From a long hiatus.
It's been a while. Apologies. You know, nothing untoward. It's just life. But yeah, thank you to the lads for keeping you guys updated. Let's go. Right, today, let's talk about the champions.
Okay.
What the champions have been up to.
Yep.
And what we want them to get up to next year.
Yep.
What are you thinking about kind of who's got the belts now? What are you thinking in terms of the belt, the way the year's ended with the champs?
So I think we were literally just discussing before this podcast, and I think we like the state of the champions at the moment in time. I think all the champs are likable characters, and they represent, a lot of them represent me. You know, represent Niger. Niger, no, they carry last. Come boy, Nigeria Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Come on,
Easy.
Let's get busy.
Easy, you know.
Yes.
We like it. Yeah, I think they're strong champions, and I think the majority of them, 90% of the champions, I believe, will hold that title for a long time. Time. What about yourself?
Yeah, I to be honest, obviously very biased. Love the Nigerians, you know. Really love. Who else do I love? Surprisingly, Volk. I've started to like Volk recently, which I'm quite surprised at because I really do love Max Holloway. I think he's obviously a GOAT. Really love Ortega. Thought, you know, wanted him to come back the journey he's been on. And obviously, you know, we won't go back into it too much, but Juliana Pena taking that belt for me, honestly, like
Julie, come on.
I just, you know, I think on an earlier episode I said she couldn't punch. She punches like she's got pillows in her hands. Probably can't put a dent on the Lioness. I'm eating all my words right now, honestly. Like what she did.
It's true. You and me both.
Honestly.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, I think honestly one of the biggest shocks in all of UFC history.
Yeah, that's what I feel as well. APL felt something different, but again, when we're all together, we can discuss that in a bit more depth.
Chew the fat on that for sure. But yeah, let's quickly fly through each division.
Okay.
Have a look at the champion.
Yeah.
And see what fights we want to see them in next year, and if anyone can actually whip a belt or two from any of our current champions. We'll start with the flyweights.
Brilliant. Let's go. Men's flyweight.
Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
Who's he next up against?
So Brandon Moreno, he's got a rematch. No, it's the trilogy fight between him and Figueiredo. I thought the first fight was very close. Figueiredo got that. I actually thought Moreno won that fight. I really did. The second fight, Moreno just put on a masterclass. Figueiredo didn't even look like he wanted to be there. He didn't look. It was a bit like Nunes against Pena. But Moreno, he's a true G. And I think it'll be very interesting. Mid-January, that fight's going to be. So
are they on the heavyweight card?
They're on the heavyweight card.
Okay, we won't dive into that because that's going to be an exciting one. For me, I'm not going to lie. I could just watch these two go at it week after week. I kind of don't really pay much attention to much of that flyweight division. Yeah. I think these two are just head and shoulders above the rest. Obviously, was it Kai Kara France on finishing, absolutely obliterating Cody Nolov. I think he's put out the messaging that actually I'm not going to fight anyone unless it's for the belt.
Yeah.
I think he's potentially one fight away from the belt, considering what he was ranked 6th upon that fight. I think he's still ranked maybe around the same position.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Moreno and Figueiredo, I could just see them going at it over and over again. Like, it shouldn't even end at a trilogy because
and I'd love it. People were paid to see it.
Honestly,
that's the thing.
And it's a little bit like Max and Volk. If those two were just to fight every single numbered event again, I wouldn't be against it.
Exactly, and it'll be close fights each time.
Every single time to the wire. I definitely agree. So, do we think Moreno's gonna get away from that scrap with the belt, or What are we gonna say? What are we gonna say for the flyweight division? Who's gonna end up on top in 2022?
It depends, and it fully depends on which Figueiredo turns up. Because the Figueiredo that we saw against some of these other guys, Marlon Moraes, against Moreno the first time, he guy's an animal. He literally, he's the epitome of his tag name, God of War. My man might be like 5'3", but he's a God of War, you know.
I like that. That's a strong name.
But I think Moreno at the moment in time, he's on a streak. I think Moreno gets it done. I really do.
Do you know what? I think he's just a geeky guy who happens to fight. I've seen a little bit of he collects like collectible figurines and he's like into Star Wars and I quite like that. I like that about him. I've seen him around meeting some of the other fighters. He's like a proper fanboy.
He is.
Like he's like gassed to just breathe the same air as them in the PI and stuff. So I like that humbleness about him. I'd like him to again, like we said early on, we actually genuinely like a lot of the champions. We think they're nice characters. Once, despite this guy's really odd thing with ethically bad men. Let's just say.
Johnny Jones, you need to put some respect on the name.
Anyway, here we go
Skills
again.
talk for itself.
Even he likes all the nice, clean champions. And I think the champions are actually all there on merit as opposed to trash talking as well. I think the champions we've got are all quite nice people. But do we think Kai Kara France has a chance next year?
He is the one to watch in the flyweight division, definitely. I think we will do one. We say ones to watch for 2022. We'll do a whole podcast on
Good
that.
shout.
But I think I think Kai Kara France is.
Did you foresee him doing what he was going to do to Cody?
No chance. He starched him, absolutely starched him, and Cody. Yeah. Anyway, let's.
We'll hold that back because there's a lot I want to say about Cody, and we'll fly straight over to bantamweight. So upon us saying we like all the champions, let's just bear in mind Peter Yan, who for me still my champion, is only interim at the moment, and we've got good old Aljamain Sterling, Mr. I need surgery on my little toe, I need surgery on my neck, I need surgery on my left butt cheek. Yeah, he's absolutely turning into Robocop while he gets all these surgeries, putting off the PT Yan fight. Is that even in the diary yet? Confirmed? Has that got a date?
I don't think it has. Obviously,
is this because Aljamain needs another surgery?
He's on the sick bed. He's on the sick bed at the moment in time. And for me, I think people are too harsh on Aljo. It was not his decision to grant him with that title. We know that he wanted that title, and it was a bit fake him putting it down when he got awarded it. But that's not his fault. Petr Yan need him in the head in an illegal knee. I'm sorry about that, but that wasn't Aljo's fault. Petr Yan, I do believe is probably the true champ, but Aljo obviously he's taken the time out to, and rightfully so, to get things fixed that maybe were an issue for him in the past. And if he is going to be unifying the belts against Petr Yan, damn right you want to be in the best shape of your life, because Petr Yan is no joke. No joke.
In a rematch, do you fancy Aljo's chances?
No. Even if he's Robocop
so he's talked up the game and then he's like, no.
It'll give him a better chance. But we saw it in the first fight. We knew Petr Yan, he's a bit slow on the take in these fights. First round, second round, it takes him a long time to get into it. And Aljo, he did what he needed to do in those first 2 rounds, which I felt he won. But then after that, Petr Yan started getting into his stride. He looked good. If it wasn't for that win, he would be, unified and undisputed. But
so we're going with Petr Yan taking a belt straight off Aljo in the rematch.
100%, yeah.
Light work,
100%, yeah. Maybe third round, but he gets it done. But then just a comment for that, how stacked that bantamweight division is at the moment in time.
Honestly, then we've got obviously another one of your guys. Your favourite clean athletes.
TJ Dillashaw.
TJ Dillashaw's in the wings. He's ranked at the moment number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
We've got Jose Aldo straight after him. Absolute. We've got Corey Sandhagen already up there. Yeah. Dominic Cruz has jumped up deservedly. So I believe he was 11, and then he won recently, and now he's number 7.
Number 7.
Dominic Cruz is back at 7. Forgot about him.
Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, these legends in the game that are just coming back and they're just showing some of the youth what it's like to put together a good run. And fair play.
Fine wine. And Marlon Vera as well. Who did he? He's the star.
Chito Vera.
Who did he start?
Frankie Edgar.
Yes.
Frankie Edgar.
He's the famer.
Yeah, and he's the only guy to take the the O off Sugar
Well,
Sean.
well, Sugar still claims he's
He's
undefeated.
undefeated. The people's undefeated
The
champ.
branding and everything, he's still going. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Absolutely stacked division. Who's ending the year with the belt though? 2022. I think
It's
they're all
very hard to
the thing is,
say.
between all those names we've just called out, I think they're all razor thin battles. I think it
Yeah.
might be one of the most competitive division out there.
Yeah,
I think none of the fights, apart from the next Peter Yan, Aljo, I think
Mhm.
that will be a start. I think everything else is going to be like absolute slugfests.
Yeah, massively.
Loving the resurgence of Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
We were just talking about him off air. His movement, I don't know how he does it, because if you see it,
It's crazy.
you know, it's like contemporary dance, but in effect, he's also got to think of finding holes in his opponent, whether that's kicks, elbows, takedown, whatever. And he's also got to think defense, as well as coming up with these random foot patterns to throw his opponent off. Like, honestly,
he's sick.
There's no one out there in the combat sports, and I'm counting boxing, who has his footwork. It's out of this world, and I love the fact that if he can stay fit, I think he'll be fighting for a belt in 2022. I think he's only a couple of fights away. I only think he's ranked 7 now. I think he's another massive performance because of remember Dana likes that. If you've put you've got the miles in the clock and you've already been there and you've already been to the pinnacle.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go, oh yeah, you need to fight another 2 or 3 times before you can get the belt.
True.
It could just be one fight away. If he fights Corey Sanhagen next, for example, who's ranked number 4, the champion Peter Yan takes the belt off. I think unless Dillashaw gets it, after that, I think it's Dominic Cruz getting a title shot. Well, I think he's 1 or 2 fights away max.
Well, no, I do agree with that. Dillashaw is he's injured at the moment in time. I don't know if it was his leg, but he's out for at least until the summer, I think, as well. So if that fight between Aljo Petyan happens quite early 2022,
I hope so. Yeah.
And a Dominic Cruz,
happened to me between Jan and March.
Yeah.
If it can't happen latest March, for me, he needs to get stripped.
Aljo.
Yeah.
Strip him.
Give
him a Francis Ngannou. Well, actually, no, they've not stripped him.
No,
but they just made it
Peter Yan's already got interim.
Yeah, no, that's true.
What's he got? Peter Yan meant to do? Stay on the shelf and start defending an interim? Who does that?
Yeah, no, you can't have that. I think if I was to put my money, if I was forced to put my money on somebody, I would say Peter Yan comes out end of 2020 with a belt. But I think TJ Dillashaw is probably the closest or the most dangerous challenge that he will have. So, I won't be putting any money on that fight, should we say, or of that division. But, yeah, that's my feelings.
Cool. Bantamweight, fully stacked. We both agree on that.
Love it. Love it.
I think Peter Yan, I think he's got a good chance of having a belt at the end of the year as well. So, we will see. Over to the featherweights, we got the champion, Alexander the Great, Volk. He only gets involved in wars, this guy.
Indeed.
I can imagine, even when I just look at him, I can just imagine his head being one of the toughest heads. Like I reckon people punch his head and it's like, ouch. Like, broken hands from contact with his head.
Blockhead.
So we have a decent little division in featherweight. So we got Volk as champ. We got Max Holloway. Love him.
Daddest man on the planet, Max Holloway.
Love him. Blessed, baby. We got Brian Ortega. What
T-City.
Great hair.
Love the hair.
Fantastic. Between those 3, we could have a little tournament. 2022, same question. Who's taking the belt off Volk?
Ooh, I've counted Volk out one too many times, and I refuse to do it again. But at the same time, Max Holloway's doing his bits now. I think he's had 2 shots at the title, 2 shots at Volk, and he's lost both of them. Yeah, I did think he won. Very controversial.
Honestly, I think both weren't like easy. Like they were for me. I don't know if bias can come into effect, but for me, I thought Max won.
I thought the first one Max won. The second one, maybe Volk.
That first one for me, Max won it.
Yeah, same. But you can give it either way, and I don't want to get City Kickboxing guys Eugene Barron on my back as well, because he's been giving all those commentators a right doing for that. But and I think, as you said, Volk he's grown on a lot of people, and I think he's getting the just deserts recognition he deserves, because he's an absolute legend.
He's a machine. He's like a Terminator.
Exactly.
Just doesn't I don't think we've seen him like really rocked. He just keeps on coming forward. He doesn't
Yeah.
really get hurt, even if his face says otherwise in terms of the bruising and so on.
Yeah.
He just carries on coming forward. He sticks with the game plan. He's very, very regimented in his approach.
Massively.
Scary dude.
He is.
Very scary dude. And I can imagine that. Like, even his, he just looks like he's made from granite. Like you hit him, like I said, not just his head. You probably hit him in his like you could whip him the best body shot ever, and I reckon your wrist is going to be in more pain than his ribs. I just think he's literally like who's gonna beat him? Max has been so close and still couldn't get it over the line.
Yeah.
The fight against Brian Ortega, oh my gosh,
That
was absolutely gutted.
Twice.
Gutted.
That guillotine and then that triangle.
Oh gosh, the guillotine.
The
Yes.
guillotine.
Yes.
He even thought himself he was out. He even thought himself he was out.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And it's because basically if he was all into the fact that I literally can't knock this guy out because my hands hurt, so I'm going to go to the submissions. And that guillotine, I've never seen a guillotine in that deep for that long, and the guy gets out of it.
Yeah. He was like, it's one of those moods, and like it was like Izzy against Gastelum when he said in that final round, he's just like, I'm prepared to die. Volk was prepared to die. He was prepared to go out on a stretcher. He was prepared to go out black, seeing blacked out. Yeah. And fair play to him.
Yeah.
But I think for Volk, like, you've seen some of his backstory as well. This guy who came from a rugby background in Australia, he used to weigh like over 200 pounds.
He used to be a proper fatty.
Big fatty. A lot of people in the UK, our UK fans will understand the rugby and
the culture, the beer culture.
Exactly.
Out with the lads.
He's weighing in at 145. 145.
It's crazy.
But he's done a
Like I said,
massive
he's made
turnaround there.
granite.
He is. But did you see Max Holloway's last fight against Yair Rodriguez?
Oh gosh. I want to say yes, but don't ask me
ago.
any details. I might be blagging it right now.
That was
Not gonna lie.
That was an absolute bloodbath.
Was that a fight night?
It was a fight night
Okay.
one. Yeah. And Max just looked. He's number one. Nobody else is taking that number one off him. But I think it all depends on what Max wants to do next. Because if he doesn't want that fight against Volk, which he will do eventually, he could have these big fights.
The thing about Max, I'm recalling the fight now, and I'm recalling every single fight. I love Max. He just, even against people he just takes damage.
Yeah.
He gets hit too much.
He does.
And we were talking about, for example, just again off camera, the best was it when Cody won the belt from Dominic Cruz. We were talking about the best performances at championship level of all time. Yeah. I actually put out there that was the best ever 135 performance I've ever seen. Like because Dominic, we were talking about his movement.
I can't disagree.
Cody was dodging Dominic Cruz, like literally. How do you even time dodging Dominic Cruz's like attacks? He was
Resurrection. That's what
honestly.
it was.
I want to see more of that from Max. Max will take one to give one. He'll take a punch and he'll roll it really nicely, and you won't think he's hurt and so on. But he just takes too much punishment. And I want to see Max with all his faculties in a few years' time. I want him to be like all there, not slurring his words. And I'm starting to see little signs where I'm like, I don't know if it's the Hawaiian twang, but where sometimes it sounds like he's mumbling already.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. I love Max, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, how much punishment because he takes punishment in every single fight. He's another one who absolutely gets involved in wars.
It's true.
And with Volk, I'm like, you're ranked number one, which means you're only going to get him again. Is that just going to be another war, another one where Volk just takes it to the wire and Max doesn't quite make it again? I don't know. I'm not saying it's the end of the road for Max. Far from it. But I'm just... Maybe we could just tighten up that defence somehow. Less of the high guard and maybe more of the dodging.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's how he beats him. I think that's how he beats him. The only thing the difference is in them is that he takes more damage, and I think he should take your advice on that. But
and Volk's kick game. Oh, when he's kicking, that was because he's already got that low centre of gravity.
I know.
It's just like
nasty, absolutely
nasty. A pillar of cement just smacking into your leg.
No, thank you.
No,
thank you.
So I think from all that noise, we're both saying Volk's gonna finish 2022 on the belt.
Volk, yeah.
Mr. Granite, Mr. Alexander the Great.
That's it. Keep him there.
At the moment, we've only got Aljo losing a belt from those first three divisions.